Don't worry, if you have not seen this movie, I will not be discussing any spoilers whatsoever for the movie. But if you haven't seen the entirety of Breaking Bad up until the last episode, I will be talking about a fair bit of spoilers for the Breaking Bad TV series. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this review. But if you have seen it, stick around and get my opinions on this movie. I will be doing a spoiler review in the next couple of days. So click subscribe so you can stay tuned for that review. This movie was 100% needed. Jesse's character was the only one. I actually watched the entire show leading up to this, and Jesse's character was the only one that was kind of left open ended, because like Saul's character as well was left open ended, but we've been kind of seeing glimpses of his future in Better Call Saul, and the only other people who we could actually see more of is Skylar, Flynn, and Marie, but I couldn't give a crap about what they're doing now. I always pictured that eventually Skylar and Marie just kind of moved in together and they just kind of spent the rest of their lives living together. That's why my mind always went to what happened with them, and I never actually gave a shit what really happened with them. But Jesse, I always kind of wonder like what happened to Jesse. I always assumed he did get away, but to see this, it was a good way of figuring out how Jesse got away, because I never would have imagined this is what Jesse would have done to get away. This movie really was an amazing continuation of the series, because Jesse's story, there was a lot more to tell. Like, they kind of finished off, like, Walt's story, you see how he ends in Breaking Bad, and Jesse was kind of really sidelined because of that last couple of, like, the last few episodes. He was very sidelined, because, like, we have to wrap up Walter White's story. But I imagine Vince Gilligan, the guy who created Breaking Bad, I assume he always planned on doing this movie, because he kind of wrapped up everyone's story except Jesse's, and it doesn't seem like he's the kind of man who would do that. If you actually watch Breaking Bad, everything has a point to it, so I imagine he always planned on doing this, and just I thought it was a great ending for Jesse. I can't see them ever continuing on with something with Jesse, because the way it ends, I just can't see anything else happening. I don't know. Aaron Paul does a phenomenal job in this movie, but I don't think he ever would come back to it. I was kind of surprised that they did this movie in general, because I never thought we would see more with it, but I'm kind of glad we did. And the cinematography in this movie, it is 4K and it is stunning. I like, especially as I said, like I literally went from, I finished episode 16 last night, and I watched the movie then this morning, and you notice a difference so much. Like, you even just the colors, they just pop a lot more in the movie rather than they did in the show from 6-7 years ago. It's just the color in this movie, it's just so much nicer and brighter than it was in Breaking Bad. And it's not like it was a style, it's just because that was just normal. I think it would have been 720 at that stage, but this is just full 4K, so it just naturally just looks a lot better than the TV series ever did. This movie actually is pretty hard to talk about without getting into spoilers. That's why I'm definitely going to do a spoiler review. But this movie, it kind of, the more I think about it, it's a lot like Toy Story 4 in the fact that a lot of people think Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending. So if you thought that was the perfect ending, don't bother with Toy Story 4. So same with Breaking Bad. If you thought Breaking Bad was the perfect ending to this universe, don't watch El Camino. So if you want to watch El Camino to see what happens in Breaking Bad, this is the movie. That's why I thought El Camino and Toy Story 4 are very similar for those ends. The way people thought Breaking Bad and Toy Story 3 were perfect endings to the series. If you want more, there's more here. So that's why I thought it was just, that's my mind went straight to Toy Story 4, as it usually does with Toy Story. But Breaking Bad, El Camino, I thought it was very similar to the ending of Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4, just because there was the opportunity to continue on a lot more, which they took, and they did a brilliant job with. Overall, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, was absolutely fantastic. I have it ranked at number 4 so far for this year. I don't know if it's going to go up or down or anything, because I do absolutely adore this movie. I'm so glad we got it. Like, when I first finished it, I was a bit unsure if I liked it or not, but the more I'm thinking about it, I really like this ending. I don't want more. If they give me more, of course I'll watch it. It could be better, but at the moment I'm thinking no. I think what we got is a great ending of Jesse's story as well. I don't know if we'll get more. I doubt we'll get more, but if we ever do, of course I'll watch it. But if you do want to see my spoiler review, consider clicking that subscribe button so you can come back and see the spoiler review. And as always, thanks for watching.